Welcome back, everybody. We're joined this morning by Deputy Chief Brian Foley of the Hartford Police to talk about so many things going on in the city. Good morning.
Good morning, Ben.
Great to be with you again.
Thank you.
So before we talk about these fun things, there was a shooting that happened over on Brook Street, and technology played such a role in that, the way that was solved using surveillance footage, right?
Yeah, so we have this C4, as we call it. It's a Capital City Crime Center in Hartford. It was built over the last couple years, and the great thing about it was that it wasn't built on the backs of taxpayers. Chief Ravella, the mayor, and the police department did an amazing job of securing funds for this without using taxpayer dollars. I can tell you, nobody's crime center in the state or even in the region comes close to what we're doing, and we want people to know about it. And you know, listen, we talk about it all the time, the crime center and all the technology we have available. Yet these shootings still occur, and this one here is a prime example of one. We had the car when the shooting happens, our ShotSpotter technology picks it up. From there, the video cameras immediately turn to that area, and there you can see the car. I mean, we had the license plate. Our crime analysts were able to get that license plate out to our officers within minutes in the field. There's the car, the final result. That's up on 291. What happens is the ShotSpotter picks it up, the video cameras get it, the analysts get it out to officers. Officers see the car is then a short pursuit up onto 291. They get out and run on foot. One is captured, one is still at large, but 2 guns were taken off the street, 2 illegal guns taken off the street. And you can bet those guns were already used in a shooting once that day. They would have been used in another shooting. So when the cost of just the crime center alone and preventing one homicide with one of those guns, which we know is used in a shooting, makes everything worth it.
All right, so we all know, on a much lighter note, that you're a runner. If anyone follows you on Twitter, they see you sprinting. We talked about the marathon just a little bit last week, but touch on that. That's coming up.
Yeah, I'm working closely with the Hartford Marathon, and we're actually going to start blogging about it almost daily on the training for it. But I'm doing the full marathon, but you know, people forget there's a 5K that is very popular there and a half marathon. And you know, now's the time to start training for those. And if you're not an experienced runner or you've fallen out of shape, as I did in March, where you know I was up 20 pounds, you know, just a few months ago, now's the time. But small bites at the apple is what we say. Those first baby steps. You know, get out there, do a 10-minute walk on a treadmill just to start getting ready and start building a goal. But if you sign up for a marathon or you go and buy sneakers, those 2 things there are such motivating factors to get going. So if you're sitting out there and you're thinking you want to do a 5K, you're thinking you want to do a half marathon, go and buy a pair of sneakers. Go at a good spot too. I go to a place like Fleet Feet where they can give you some coaching too as well. And that is a big motivating factor for someone to get going, is going there. And the half marathon in Hartford is a pretty easy half marathon. I don't want to say anyone's easy, but I've ran it a few times. It's flat and it's fast. It's a great half marathon to run, especially for your first time.
I have more pair of sneakers than probably everyone in Hartford combined, and I am not a runner. So what's your answer to that?
Sometimes the motivation doesn't stick.
No, not sticking.
It lasts about a week, right?
So on a different note, the Hartford Police Action League held an event right in front of the riverfront, and you guys partnered up with Aetna. What's it like to be partnered up with a company so big like Aetna?
We have a vibrant PAL program with our officers and our kids here in the city, and we find it very rewarding. We won't see the benefits of these rewards in our careers here, but you know, 10, 15 years down the road, as these kids mature, we want them to become police officers or we want them to become successful professionals, either way. But Aetna's been such a solid partner, and you hear everywhere, Aetna's leaving, you know, Aetna's bailing out, they're leaving Hartford. That's not the case. A handful of people moved to New York, and not everything's permanent. At the police department, they are still a committed and valued partner there, and they put on a great event yesterday or Friday morning at the riverfront. Riverfront Recapture is also a great partner, but Aetna gives us so much help and so much assistance, not just in the forms of donations, but their employees. They do incredible outreach into the community, and so they're a valued partner. They're not going anywhere. You know, it's such a small little handful, and everyone likes to talk negative about Aetna leaving. That's not the case. They're still a committed partner to the city, to the police department, and most importantly, to our community's children.
So I've been waiting all morning to talk about this, what we're about to talk about. You were in a dunk tank, and FOX61's Javon Vitale. By the way, Javon's got to be, what, 6'1", maybe 6'2"?
Big guy, yeah.
He was surrounded by, what, 6- and 7-year-olds?
Yeah, right around there.
Towering above them. took a baseball multiple times, whammed it at you, didn't get you, but what was it like to be in that dunk tank?
So I showed up and they said, hey, you got to sit in the dunk tank. And I realized I had my gym clothes and I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll do the dunk tank.
There you are.
Yeah. So, and Javon, of course, is kicking around. And I told him, I told Javon, hey, give it I told Javon, hey, why don't you give it a throw? And boy, he got up there. He gave it 3 or 4 throws. I don't think the Red Sox or the Yankees are going to be scouting him anytime soon. Maybe the Mets will. I don't know.
Oh, yikes. Okay, well, there's this tweet right there. Thank you for having fun with us.
All right,
and thank you for having fun with Javon. Maybe next year, Javon. We'll see what happens. It's great to be your insight, literally, every week is invaluable, so thank you.
Thanks, man. I enjoy being here.
Absolutely. Okay, well, coming up, the fight for a budget battle at the state capitol is being felt throughout the state, specifically in the classroom. We're going to explain why many school districts are feeling the pinch while we wait for lawmakers to come to terms. Plus, a hometown product heading to Cooperstown. We're talking baseball. Jeff Bagwell set to enter baseball's Hall of Fame today. Javon Patel not entering that Hall of Fame. We'll take a closer look at his career and the time he spent here in Connecticut. We'll be right back.